2020 was a forgettable year and the auto industry had it just as bad as the others, including a month of zero sales. But car makers fought back and fought back hard, bringing out a whole bunch of new metal to keep the wheels spinning. This is a celebration of all the new cars launched over the past year. Reliance General Insurance presents the Autocar Awards 2021 in partnership with the Times Network with tyre partner Apollo Tyres. That's a huge lineup of cars, but amazingly, this is the short list you see here. While even more models went on sale in India in 2020, there are a few requirements for a car to qualify for the top honor of Car of the Year. For one, it has to have been launched in the year gone by. Two, it has to have been homologated for India or specifically brought in under the 2500 unit homologation-free import rule. 3. An existing model only makes the cut if it's got significant powertrain, interior and sheet metal changes. Of course, these cars will not be directly compared to one another but instead judged on their individual fitness for purpose. And to judge these cars, we have an eminent panel of jurors. Narain Karthikeyan, the fastest Indian. Veteran rally driver and multiple race winner Kamlesh Patel. Orma Sorabji, editor Autocar India. Renuka Kirpalani, editor The Autocar Show. Shapur Kotwal, deputy editor Autocar India. Static evaluations were followed by drive time around the Madras Motor Race Track. Here's what the jurors thought of the hatchbacks.
The Altroz is a well-packaged car. It's very up-to-date in design and the way it's been put together, and dynamically the team has done a great job.
I think really body control, everything good. I think the only downside is the engines. A chassis like this needs a stronger engine.
Just look at the kind of features they give you today. Look at this big touch screen. You've got whole raft of features, wireless charging, and it's large and comfortable on the inside. So this car keeps moving forward, and that's the real appeal of it.
What I like is the interior, the dash, everything is very, very visible. Nothing is hidden when you drive it.
Well, it's quite an all-rounder, this hatch. Got the performance, got the features, got the space. Not very sporty though, and a little expensive.
Sedans might not be as popular as they once were, but there were some important launches across price points last year.
I think it was really fun to drive around the track, and it absolutely surprised me on that front. And as for the rest, it's got a nice interior. It's completely feature packed. So yeah, quite a power package.
The engine, of course, is very peppy, goes well. Overall, a good package for this size of car.
Likes to be revved, and if you do that, it's a real pleasure to drive. Dynamically also, I feel it's quite strong.
It drives well, and of course it has that fantastic naturally aspirated 1.5 engine. This time it's a twin cam and it just loves to rev. You go past 5,000 and put your foot down. Yeah, that's another pleasure.
What a spacious car this is. And I know I'm sitting up front and driving, but I looked at that back seat earlier and wow, man, the kind of legroom that it opens up, I think is phenomenal.
As a sedan, I think this is really, probably the sedan in its class.
For a front-wheel drive car, it handles really well, and you can have a lot of fun with it. It's a little bit soft, but then it seems quite fun to drive.
It's got the punch, it's got the sass, it is, fun to drive. Unfortunately, the price tag is the part of it that just isn't fun enough to make it accessible to a lot of people.
Very pointy, it dives into corners, so that's great. Little cramped at the back, and I think a little expensive too.
BMW's 8 Series line also made its debut in India last year with 4-door and 2-door coupe body styles, and the range was represented by the fire-breathing M8.
Well, it's a joy to drive. The M8 has a huge lot of power. I think it runs a twin turbo V8, and it's very, very quick. So to get from point A to point B in quite a lot of luxury as well.
What I can tell you, this engine absolutely marvelous. The 4.4 litre V8 gearbox also superb. It just is an incredibly quick car, but on a track it just feels a little bit heavy.
MPVs might be about practicality first, but last year's 2 new launches take luxury seriously too.
Yes, this is a premium MPV, but you get a lot in it. Very refined, very comfortable. And I think, if you're going with a family, nothing to beat this.
It's got a very, very comfortable ride. People won't be shaken around in this car. So, yeah, long distance traveling in this one will be super comfortable.
Yeah, it's certainly very, very comfortable, and you have a lot of luxury, of course. The ride is very soft, and as expected, it's better to be a passenger than a driver.
Over to the SUVs, which like the past few years make up the bulk of our Car of the Year contenders. It's a motley mix of models of different sizes, from different price points and even different powertrains. In fact, let's start with the duo of electric SUVs.
You were very surprised by it. Actually, it's really smooth and nice. Suspension is really brilliant.
It's quite fun to drive this car. It handles very neutrally, and when pushed hard it gets into a nice slide and oversteer. So to have so much fun on an electric car, I think it's quite awesome.
It's really nice on the inside. That power's all there. So, I mean, maybe not a track car, but for every day, I think this would be a real winner.
Power delivery is absolutely brilliant. There's no harshness and nothing. It's a superb car.
It looks really nice. It looks premium. It's got a whole load of features.
You can feel the weight of the car when you drive this car, and it's very soft. But nevertheless, for an EV, I mean, it's a good vehicle.
Switching focus to SUVs with more conventional powertrains, the list is long.
Really nice all-round package, whether you talk about comfort, whether you talk about space, whether you talk about the way that it performs. You have a whole lot of features, and the beauty about it is the price at which it comes at.
So I think what really took me by surprise is the amount of space the Magnite has. It's got a small price, so you don't expect a lot of space, but really that's what you get.
When it comes to value for money, it's the Magnite that stands out amongst all these cars here. It sets a new benchmark. It's got a similar amount of features. It's feature loaded.
For the price, it's good, and I think a lot of people buying a car for the first time will really go for it because it's got all you need.
Well, urban cruiser, basically a Brezza with a Toyota badge, so that means spacious, practical, a bit boring, and the auto transmission, it's better than you think.
Even though it's nothing fancy, but it really got my attention.
Here's another car that they said we have just hit straight outside the stadium. It's got practically everything you want. Good engines, good refinement, what an interior.
This Sonet, it just sets a new benchmark for cabin quality. The switches, just everything. Just absolutely fantastic.
Whether you talk about the ride and the handling, it just packages it all so well. I mean, it completely surprised me on the track. I was actually pushing it and having fun with it, which I didn't expect.
What is going for it is the interiors, the quality of materials, the packaging, and the whole car itself. It's quite a nicely put together car.
Well, Creta got everything packed with features. panoramic sunroof, paddles, multiple engines, lots of space. Hard to fault actually.
It's got the space, it's got the features, it's got the looks, it's got the styling. Pretty much has everything that one needs. If you're an enthusiast, that's the only thing you'll miss.
Hector Plus, Hector with a lot more, third row of seats. Those aren't very comfy, but the captain's seats really comfy, one of the best around. And overall, a nice spacious car which is quite easy to drive.
Lot of leg space, lot of room. Even the boot is good. Good car for doing long distance with the family.
This car is all about driving. It's expensive because it's a CBU, but in terms of driving, fantastic.
Well, I think the T-Roc, firstly, it's a fully built unit, so it handles very European, which is really nice when you're pushing it and when you do some performance driving on it. The interiors, I would say it's a little bit too bland for our Indian liking.
Extremely smooth, good handler, good brakes, good car.
In terms of everything, whether it's its performance, whether it is the premium interior, it all feels luxury, refined, relaxed.
Skoda Karoq, a CBU, so it's expensive, but it feels expensive as well. Everything really top quality in here. And this points to the next generation of Skodas we can expect.
Models with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive were not only driven on tarmac but also on MMRT's new dirt track.
So this is what this car does. I mean, for many, many reasons, it just puts this massive smile on your face. You feel invincible when you're driving it. And it's just progressed so many levels above its predecessor. It's raised the bar, I think, in that sense.
Yeah, it's a very, very well sorted car, and I would say much more refined, more comfortable, and good off-roading capabilities compared with even the Jeep Wrangler, I would say.
I would normally think it's only for use in the forest or jungle, but now it's almost like a everyday use car, plus it handles beautifully in the mud.
It's semi-practical, it's comfortable on the inside, you have all your functionalities you need today, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, stuff like that, and that's what's made it transcend being just a focused off-roader, and that's great.
I think really what stands out is the new powertrain, a petrol engine mated to the ICE auto. It just is a different level. The response of the diesel is a little sluggish at low revs, but otherwise it's smooth, refined, very spacious, and I think even the third row is really comfy.
Well, there's no two ways about it. This is an SUV that's all about comfort and features and tech, and it is very softly sprung, and you can feel that when you drive it a little quicker.
It feels good on the dirt as well as the tarmac. Good all round, especially for the price.
Well, it's big, spacious, practical, and very smooth. Moving to petrol, you miss the diesel. This doesn't have that same mid-range punch. In fact, it's a little flat in power delivery that way. Very smooth all the same.
It's a comfortable large SUV that's surprisingly good off-road, easy to drive, nice engine, but it does guzzle the fuel, and it is a bit overpriced in my opinion.
It's a peppy little car, and I really like it. Yeah, even as an SUV, it's brilliant.
This is a fun little SUV. I mean, every bit enjoyable from behind the wheel. If you're an enthusiast, yep, you're going to love driving this one.
Well, really a compact car, but great fun to drive. I've really enjoyed driving the Q2, but quite honestly, the price, very, very hard to justify.
Yeah, it's more about a sort of an urban SUV as opposed to really being off-road, but it still handles some of the rough stuff pretty well.
So Evoque, all about style, both inside and out. Just love the design about it. Just so beautifully shaped without being too fussy. Drives pretty okay. I mean, it drives like a Land Rover does. Yeah, GLE, well, it's the E-class of SUVs. It's got this nice long wheelbase, well-equipped, good ride, big range of engines, and overall it just is a great all-rounder in the luxury SUV space.
There's everything new age here, so it feels really modern and feels every bit luxury that it's meant to be. I think the place to be is there in the back seat. It is super comfortable, really nice place to be.
Everything's good. Suspension, steering, brakes, response. I mean, what you pay, what you get.
You know, it's just been redone again, and I think they've really raised the game, and a big improvement from the previous GLS.
And with that, we come to the end of our four-wheeler jury round. Which is your pick and why? Let us know in the comment section below. And be sure to also check out our two-wheeler jury round video.